Joining me now is Fran Coughlin, an advocate and proud owner of pit bulls over the years.
Yeah, it's about Fran, 20 years actually.
20 years. Well, we have a friend of yours here named Shay.
Yes, this is Shay
who
right there.
is a pit bull and came into the studio and immediately made friends with everybody in the studio. Now, I have, my wife and I have 2 cats. I do love animals in general.
Okay.
And we've heard all the horror stories about pit bulls. We heard, former Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords, her husband had to pull a family dog because it attacked a sea lion. There was a horrific story in Manchester, England, where a pit bull attacked a child. There was one in Toronto recently where there was another pit bull attack, and they've now since been banned by the government. So I want to give you a full and fair hearing to tell me why we shouldn't be worried about this particular breed. Is it the dog, or is it the owner, or is it the breed?
If you talk to almost everybody on the street, they'll tell you it's the owner.
Okay.
In most cases. I mean, if a dog is going after a sea lion, almost every dog, especially herding dogs and sporting dogs, would go after a sea lion. And that includes 50 different breeds of dogs, plus any mixes. And we don't know what Shay is. He's a short-haired, medium-sized dog that could be from at least 25 different breeds. And then if you put the mixes in there, I think there's 25 different breeds that are commonly mistaken as pit bulls.
Okay.
So it's becoming a phrase in general for any short-haired dog.
Now, you foster dogs.
I have
and you were telling me that Shay is kind of the example when you're trying to teach dogs how to behave, and you're even telling me that he's great with children and even with cats.
That's right.
That you've never had a problem.
No, neither with my last one that I had for 16 years.
So really, it is the owner and not the dog, because I don't know a lot about animals in general,
Right.
but I have a theory that, I mean, even our little cats, if you abuse them and et cetera, you can train them to become killers and react negatively whenever they see a human being.
Well, they'd be fear-based, wouldn't they?
Well, that's exactly it.
So if animals are abused, they become fear-based. And when a dog has fear issues, he's more apt to snap than
Sure.
a dog that's well-balanced and socialized.
Sure.
I mean, the key to having a great dog is early and proper socialization.
Yeah.
You know, and if you've got an owner that's going to go off in a heartbeat on anything, you may have a dog that's going to go off in a heartbeat on anything.
Well, so really it's nurture versus nature is what you're arguing, and that makes a lot of sense to me.
Absolutely. I mean, when you look at, for example, the reason why they're called pit bulls is because people will breed them and train them to fight in the rings to make money, right? Well, the fact is that they'd be lucky to get one out of a litter of pups that would turn out to be a fighter.
And how many pups are typically in a litter?
About 8.
So you have a 1 in 8 shot of actually, so pit bulls, were they originally bred for attacking or fighting?
Well, they say that, and I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, all I know is that most of the ones I've met are great family dogs.
That's fascinating.
For example, Michael Vick, who for decades was into dog fighting,
Yeah.
all right, he only ever had 1 champion fighter out of decades. 4 of his dogs now are certified therapy dogs.
Wow.
Yes.
And I think the dog fighting is the real issue that I think the government is trying to solve in their misguided legislation.
Yes.
Now, I personally think that anybody who abuses animals or stages dog fighting in general should just be shot on sight. That just happens to be my opinion.
We're not big fans of dog fights.
I would imagine.
No.
But this Shay seems perfectly, I mean, we're in a studio here, there's bright lights, there's cameras moving around, there's lots of noise, and he's perfectly docile.
Yes, very calm.
You know, I don't fear for my safety at all right now, even though I'm in the presence of what is a pit bull for all intents and purposes.
Yeah, you know, but this is just it. I mean, why don't they just call them dogs? Because that's what they are. What you need to do, if I'm walking down a street, I'll look at the owner, and then I'll know whether or not to be scared of a dog. So the fact that people like me are being profiled and discriminated against at mass is unfair. if I'm a responsible dog owner and I've raised great dogs throughout my whole life, I don't think the government should be telling me what kind of dog I can have and what I can't have. And I don't think I should be treated any differently and held to any other account than all dog owners. I mean, we advocate for responsible dog ownership because nobody likes to see a dog bite.
No.
All right. Do they happen? Yes, they do. These dogs are in media a lot more. Like, for example, there was a little dog-on-dog thing with a puppy in Toronto last week. Well, how many dog-on-dog things do you think happened in Toronto over the past week?
Sure.
One makes the news.
Exactly. It's always the pit bulls that just seem to be getting a bad rap.
We don't even know that it was a pit bull. Somebody,
But,
again, when you got 25 breeds commonly mistaken as pit bulls, we don't know.
And I don't want to blame a child, but I'll give you a little example. My in-laws have a little cat at home, and I have a 2.5-year-old nephew who likes to pull the cat's tail. Well, whenever he does that, he gets scratched. Well, that's how you have to tell the child, you're going to pull an animal's tail, you're going to get swatted at. I mean, the animal does not react well to that. So if you're gentle with an animal and you speak to it softly, especially when you're meeting it for the first time, odds are that animal is going to become your best friend.
Absolutely.
Although in the case of cats, it may just ignore you and say, go away. But one never knows. I mean, typically, but if you're gentle with animals, especially one you've never met before, speak quietly, very gently, they're likely going to be okay.
Yes, and you know, when you look at dog bites, most of the dog bites occur between children 2 and 7 years old. So we have been advocating to get into the schools.
Sure, absolutely.
All right, early childhood education, teaching children how to properly interact with dogs is key to reducing dog bites. Killing dogs based on what they look like is not the way to go, and I'm so embarrassed.
Well, Fran Coughlin, thank you very much for your time, and Shay, thank you very much. I think I might have made a new friend.
Yeah, he wanted to go over and say hi to my sister. That's why he's been whining.
Thank you very much for your time,
My pleasure.
Fran, and thank you,
Thanks for
Shay.
the invitation.
Thank you. Next, Vivian Diller, bullying over appearance.